One last stop in this 2019 Cricket World Cup, and you don't need to be told where we are at the home of cricket, the all important final that is the 2019 World Cup final. England versus New Zealand, and we are all set for it. Already, all preparations have been completed, and the excitement in the air is palpable everywhere in England, everywhere in London. They're talking about this final. Yes, there is the British Grand Prix tomorrow, there is also the Wimbledon final, but for just a bit, all of that will take a backseat because England are in the final of a home World Cup for the first time since 1979, for the first time since 1992, when again England were in the final. We will have a first time champion of ODI cricket. Like I said, all preparations have been complete, both sides raring to go, and you can see Aditya with me is also in fine form. It's Lords after all. Tell me, Aditya, how will England be looking forward to this game? This is a side since that knockout in 2015. This is a side that has prepared for this very moment.
Uh, like that phrase says, to hell and back. I think that just perfectly sums up how England have matured, transformed, converted themselves into this fine cricketing unit that has not just done well at home, done well abroad. Last day they beat Sri Lanka at on their soil. So I think it just kind of shows that the depths of the 2015 World Cup, where they were knocked out by Bangladesh and made fun of. I think that was one of the reasons when we first landed in England, there wasn't really much of a talk about England playing cricket. There was all sorts of EPL and everything going on. Cricket hardly found a space. This is despite when the World Cup was being played. But I think, over the course of the last 6 weeks, England have showed that this is a home World Cup. And more importantly, I think they've lived up to the potential of being one of the favourites. They started off as favourites, but between those two losses, they became hopefuls, and now they're again favourites to take the cup.
And you talked about the depths of 2015 and how England have played hosts. Well, let's talk about the other side, which, well, they're not hosts, but they did play hosts in 2015, where England's rise, or we can say sad demise, and then the rise, then the resurrection began afterwards. New Zealand were hosts, co-hosts with Australia. They made it to the final of the 2015 World Cup. They know exactly how it feels to surpass your home conditions, play like hosts and get to the final. What they don't know is how to lift the trophy. They've ever been the bridesmaid. How many times? You look at 2011, you look at 2015, you look at 2007. They've made the cut. They've made the cut. They've in the Champions Trophy, be it the World T20. They've made the cut. They've been in the knockouts. 2015 final, I thought, was really heartbreaking for them when they were outplayed by Australia. But then this time around, they're again in the finals. When you talk about a team like England, where everybody had a lot of expectations that yes, this side will be in the final, this will perhaps be one of those sides who will definitely lift the World Cup. Nobody gave New Zealand a shot. Nobody said the Black Caps this time will go ahead and do it. Maybe they will be there or thereabouts, but nobody gave them an iota of chance. Here they are. England beat India. New Zealand also beat India. Different ways, different manners, but they are the only two sides to beat India in this tournament. Perhaps it says a lot, not just about England, but a lot more about New Zealand.
Flying under the radar is the kind of phrase we've time and again used in cricketing journalism. But I think if there's one team that has really done justice to that tag, that's New Zealand. Exactly, like you said, very few probably gave them a chance. We're talking about how England, India is supposed to be the marquee final clash, how probably Australia would rise to the occasion of, being five-time world champions and eventually make their way through. But as it turns out, the Black Caps, as always, just flying under the radar, like I said, and just the kind of cricket they've played this entire World Cup. I mean, first remaining unbeaten in the first 6 matches, a washout against India, then those 3 little bumps along the way. That is where again the doubters were attracted, and probably you kind of question that whether as you come to the business end of the tournament, do Black Caps have it? But again, that one performance against India, I mean, you always knew that was coming. You always knew that Black Caps would come and rise to the situation. And what they do right now is, apart from the fact that we are certain that we'll get a brand new world champion this time round, New Zealand I think for the first time since that 2000 knockout trophy, ICC Champions Trophy knockout format, I think this is their chance. And not just England, I mean, it does New Zealand a world of good as well. I mean, just imagine all the kind of cricket, all the budding cricketers, youngsters in the country, what it would mean if New Zealand can pass this final hurdle.
Well, there you have it. And then let's just talk about what sort of permutations and combinations that we can expect. I mean, you can see behind me there's the Lord's balcony, but also, can you really spot the pitch? There's a little more grass on this Lord's wicket than you would expect for an ODI game. Maybe it'll be shaved off. We still have half a day here, maybe a bit of morning tomorrow as well. The sun is going to be out. It's going to be a lovely day for cricket. But usually at Lords, and I've seen this for the last 2 or 3 years, even in ODI cricket, they leave a bit of grass to hold the pitch together so that it doesn't become a rank turner. We saw this aspect in the league stage as well. New Zealand have played 2 games here. England have also played a game here at Lords. Tell me, New Zealand are a side that hasn't scored 300 at all in this tournament, apart from Afghanistan. But they're also a side that has defended 280, 260, 240, even against India. England are really a very different side. They want to attack, they want perfect batting conditions, and we've seen in Lords that they've struggled if there are no perfect batting conditions. So how do these teams match up? Very, very different sides. One plays attrition cricket, one plays aggressive cricket. How do these teams, and both the players are fit, both sides are fit. We have Bairstow available, the entire New Zealand squad is available up for selection as well. So, attrition versus aggression.
See, when you've carefully followed New Zealand this World Cup, they're a bunch of very nice guys. They're not known to be aggressive. They don't come out and give you controversial statements. Not saying England players do, but it's just that kind of cricket like they play. Very low profile, and on the contrary, England, again, they've been very vocal. A lot has been said about them. The players have spoken about themselves, the public, the expectations. I think, very polar teams, very contrasting teams, I would say. But then on a surface like this, again, Lords has not really been known to be a high-scoring surface. That's exactly what Owen Morgan also just recently pointed out. And if the team batting first can manage somewhere around 270, 260 even, I think that'll be a match between two, especially if you have New Zealand batting first. They're very much capable of doing that. There's a difference between the two sides, very different batting orders. England, almost everybody has gotten runs. New Zealand, not so much. They did show some signs against India. Henry Nicholls, I think, was a positive. Tom Latham being a positive from the game against England the last time around. But it will definitely be a test of patience, character, and more importantly, I think one who can implement depending on the surface tomorrow.
Well, there you have it. It's England versus New Zealand. One side which is full of runs, the other perhaps not so much. Owen Morgan was playing it down, playing it all cool, playing down the expectations, the pressure that comes with being the hosts, the pressure that comes with being the expected champions ever since this tournament began, and more so now that they are in the final. New Zealand, well, there was a lot of talk about being party poopers. There was a lot of talk about being underdogs. There was also a lot of talk about being dependent on 2 batsmen in particular, Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. There was a lot of talk about attrition cricket, but there was also chat how England's batting is almost perfection in ODI cricket. There was also chat about how New Zealand's bowling attack knows how to win games in this World Cup. It's the 48th match of the 2019 ODI World Cup. It's the final, and we are looking forward to champions on Sunday.